Bortle here at the PPG Pro Dallas Tour. Hey, what's up, buddy? How'd you do today?
I did pretty good. I did really good. My name is John Pytell, and I played Prank Kids. I got top 16 at PPG here.
Wow, top 16 at a cash tournament? That's what's up. So
Yeah.
show us the goo, man.
I'd be happy to. Starting off with just the basic Prank Kids. 3 Fansies, 3 Dropsies, 3 Lampsies, and 3 Roxies. Pretty staple in any Prank Kid deck. You need as many of these in your deck as possible so you can keep swarming them out when they go to the grave. For material for a link or a fusion summon, then they do something and special another one out. So, like this one right here, you can banish a card from your hand, draw a card, then special. You gain 1,000 in special, burn your opponent for 500, and then dump a card from deck to grave in special. So, really helpful in time with these two right here because you can swing the life points 1,500 per turn.
Yeah.
So, like I said, pretty staple when it comes to the Prank Kid deck. Only hand traps I ran, 2 Ogre and 2 Bell. I wanted to get Ash in here. I just couldn't justify it because I feel Ogre is just a much better hand trap in this current format right now. And then the Ghost Bell because of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave can kill this deck. If I was running any other deck, I wouldn't run this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my hand traps. Spells, 3 Pranks, 3 Pandemonium, and 3 Place. I know a lot of people like to run this at 2, but I liked it because it helped with the consistency a little bit more, and that's the only issue with the deck is if you have too many spells or too many monsters, it can brick you. But this is one card. This card you can just discard a random Prank Kid card and get another token. So it really helps with your consistency. That's the reason why I ran it at 3. And then, of course, the quick play. I love fusion summoning on my opponent's turn. Make them miss a whole lot of stuff. 3 Poly, 3 Instant Fusion, 2 Invocation. Just a lot of fusion stuff. Because that's what this deck is built around, fusion summoning. Then 2 Call by the Grave, just for some protection against hand traps. A lot of times you're able to chain block in this deck, but sometimes you need to, you still need the protection for like with the place if you need to search to be able to start your combos. So having the protection of Call by the Grave is a really good thing. And then spicy tech of the deck is 2 Clashing Souls.
Oh, wow.
Not a lot of people know what this card does or even sees it coming. So long story short, if your attack position monster battles your opponent's attack position monster and your opponent has higher attack, you can activate this during the damage calc and then pay 500 life points to boost your monster by 500. And then you can continue this process until you're higher, and then your opponent can do this. And then you guys can go back and forth until one of y'all decides to stop. And then whoever's monster would be destroyed by battle, that player takes no battle damage, but everything on their side of the field gets sent to the graveyard. So really helps me out boards. And because you're constantly fixating on the life points with the Dropsies and the Lampsies, it makes it very consistent, and a lot of people don't see it coming. So if I'm even in a bad position, but I'm still ahead in life points, I can just normal summon one monster and enter battle, even if it has the lowest attack on the entire field, as long as I have this in hand, and just wipe their entire board.
Wow.
It's an insane card in this deck. And then to round out the spells, these are my backups for consistency, 1-for-1 and Pot of Desires. If I didn't need them, I would always banish them off the Roxies. They were just as a backup. Like even if I had Desires, but I was still able to combo off, this would be the first thing I would get rid of out of my hand because I still want as many monsters in my deck as possible to continue to swarm. So they were just there to help the consistency of the deck. And then the one trap I played was the Plan. Plan allows you to link summon on your opponent's turn. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can, and your opponent declares an attack, you can banish it from the graveyard, shuffle back any number of Prank Kids cards from your graveyard back into your deck, and then your opponent's monster loses 100 for each. There was even one round when I banished this and I was very low on resources in my deck, and I couldn't even continue to special out. I could only get the first effects. So I waited for him. I just passed turn. He entered battle and attacked, and then I activated this, and I shuffled back 23 of my cards from my graveyard back into my deck and extra deck respectively. And
this card is actually nutty.
Yeah. And the only reason I have one in the main is because you really don't want to draw it. And as you'll see, I actually play another one in the side deck, as you'll see later, just for the matchups for its first effect.
Yeah.
But you really don't. You want to send it off the fansies during your opponent's turn. So that's the reason why I only play one. You don't want to see it. You just want to dump it.
Yeah. What's the main deck count?
Main deck count is 40. I try to make it as consistent as possible. I've tried running it at 42. I've tried running it at 41, and 40 just seems to be the perfect number, just so I know I have exactly what I need to have. So onto the extra deck.
Yeah.
2 Doodle Doos and 2 Bow Wow Barks. Really great cards. Both of them, you contribute them and then add 2 cards from your graveyard back to your hand. They also have other effects. When this one's Link Summon, you can add a spell or trap, Prank Kid spell or trap. And then this one, any Prank Kid monster he points to gains 1,000 attack. This one's only during your turn. This one's only during your opponent's turn. And it's a quick effect. And so you can make a lot of things miss timing if they target. You know, impermanence it, or Sky Striker on a Widow Anchor, as long as they haven't activated the multi-roll effect that turn. And then when on the turn that he activates his effect, all your Prank Kids monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects for the rest of that turn. So it really helps protect a lot of your cards. And then for the smaller fusions, 2 Rocket Ride and 2 Weather Washer. These contribute themselves and then special summon any 2 non-fusion monsters. So a lot of times what I'll do is, if it's late game, I will tribute this to get both of these out, or during my opponent's turn, I will do this one to get both of these out next to each other, so he's buffing him. And with this one protected by card effect, the 2 monsters that he specials out cannot be destroyed by battle for the rest of that turn too. So if I bring these 2 out off of this, these guys cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect for the rest of that turn. So really good protection there. And the reason why I run 3 instant fusion in the main deck is because these are level 5. So in a late game draw of an instant fusion, I can easily just get this out and then special summon any 2 Link monsters straight out. So instant fusion is pretty nutty because of these cards. Then the 2 big boss monsters. This one can only be fusion summoned. This one can only be Link summoned. These are both quick effects to tribute themselves. This one is a Regeki. And then this one is a Harpy's Feather Duster.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. There was one matchup today where I tried to make this against a Sky Striker player. I even Gamma Sealed so he couldn't do anything. But then he did have a Call by the Grave set, which kind of stopped me from getting to this.
Yeah,
I was pretty upset about that. I thought to myself, okay, I've shut down his entire back row with the Gamma Seal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wasn't able to get to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great combo. Game Seal, summoning any of those.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, this one right here. It's great. And I mean, especially with the fusion spell being a quick play, I can easily make this on my opponent's turn, and then just wait till I'd wait till they build their board, proceed to battle phase, but I'd stop them and stay still in the main phase because you can only activate the quick play in the main phase. And I'd activate it, make this, and trigger its effect to blow up all their monsters. And then they'd have to either try to rebuild their board in the main phase or just pass their turn because they can't attack me. So, and then of course, Bortle Twins. Believe it or not, going second, you can make both of these in one turn if you have the right cards. I've done it before. It's interesting to do. You can. I never used Bortle Load because I didn't have an opportunity to ever go into it. Bortle Sword. There was one player I played against Salamangrates, and I just ogred his Foxy or Foxer, one of the 2, and it died. He didn't have a Will or a Gazelle, and he just passed turn. I ended up OTKing him with this right off the bat. Yeah. So that was a quick, easy win for me. But those 2 are always handy. The 2 XZs, totally awesome in Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is fantastic against Salamangreat.
Oh, yeah.
It can help you in the Sky Striker matchup to keep Ray in the grave. So you could make these with the two. You can make this with the 2 Roxies and this with the two Water ones, Dropsies. Even though I think Dweller is good in certain matchups, Toad is the one I'd prefer to go into, just because it helps in a longer grind game. And this deck, even though it can OTK, it's also really good in the grind. And with this one tributing itself to negate it, you can add the water one that's attached to it back to your hand, so you can continue to recur.
Yeah.
So that's always really good. And then the 15 card, I kind of went back and forth on it, and I went with a Mega Fleet. I knew there were going to be some Cyber Dragon players here because of the new card that just came out in Dual Power.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them. I didn't play against any of them, but I did know that they were here. I saw them when I was playing throughout the day. I just never played against them. But, you know, of course, just let them go first, let them set up their board, and then contact Fuse away before they can negate anything.
Yeah.
It's always, that's the whole reason why I was there. Like I said, never came up, but enjoyed having it there. And then for the side deck, 2 of There Can Only Be One. This card does slow down my own deck a little bit, but at the same time, though, it completely shuts down other decks. I can play around it, but it'll completely shut down other decks like Salamangreat, Sky Striker. So that's the reason why I have it in there, because all of mine are different. Skill Drain. My deck can work under it because everything tributes, and even though everything can still be activated, because it's off the field, it will still resolve.
Yeah.
So Skill Drain will shut down pretty much everything. Unfortunately, every time I sighted in, I never saw it. Really helps against a lot of decks. The only time that it will hurt you is when you try to push for game with the Bortles.
Yeah.
That's the only time, but like I said, it never came up. I never saw it, unfortunately. And then 3 Phantasme and 3 Gamecill. I mean, these are pretty self-explanatory for the most part. I mean, if I could justify Phantasme in the main, I really would like to, but if I'm going first, if I want to die roll, I want to go first.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason.
There.
Yeah, it's a dead card, unfortunately. And then, like I said, Gamecill, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
People keep telling me to try to do Sphere Mode, but with a lot of the combos in this deck, you might need your normal summon. So if I have a Sphere Mode, but for me to combo off, I need my normal summon, I'm gonna try to combo off. In which case, the Sphere Mode's a dead card.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I went with the Gamecill, just so I had that option. And then for back row hate, 2 red reboot and 3 twin twisters. I played 2 Sky Strikers and one another back row deck that was half Subterror, half Altergeist.
Wow.
It was a mix between the two. It was something very interesting, but it worked. It was interesting. I ended up winning that one because I red rebooted him. Funny enough, I was at like 12,000 life points, so I had to activate this from hand and pay 6,000 life points to activate it. But I was able to push for game after that.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting matchup, one that I enjoyed. So yeah, just a lot of back row hate. And then the last card in the side deck is another Plan.
Second copy?
Yeah, second copy, because when you do play against those back row heavy decks, having that second copy to search and then send the other one to grave to recur later allows you to link summon during your opponent's turn. So if you have 2 of the smaller link monsters, you can easily link them away into the bigger one and then just destroy all their back row during the end phase that they just set everything, and then they just lost all that protection.
That's true.
So
overall, what was your PPG experience?
Oh man, I really enjoyed it. This was actually my very first one too.
Yeah.
So overall, I enjoyed it. I got this nice, pretty soft mat right here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. But no, the guys here were great. All the judges were great. Having Simo and John Moore here were fantastic. They were awesome guys. So yeah, overall, great experience.
Any shout-outs?
Oh yeah, shout outs to my boys, Ricardo, Christian, Pablo, Alex, Adrian, and Ramses. They came with me, even though Pablo Pablo, man, he snores like a freaking monster in the hotel. I only got like 4 hours of sleep because of him. But they're good guys. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to, like I said, Ricardo and Christian. They loaned me the third Phantasm. I only had 2, but I wanted to play with 3. Yeah, shout outs to my boys Tom, Joe. Yeah, just a lot of people.
Well, congrats on topping the PPG Pro Tour Dallas. And yeah, see you next time.
All right, thank you.